I'm sure all of you are very much aware of a content creator here in the lefty space that goes by the name of HasanAbi Piker. Now, Hasan is by far the largest left-wing figure on the internet right now. As far as like self-made internet figures go, he's most certainly number one. There's just not anyone larger than he is. And Hasan basically represents the online left. If you could distill the online left into a single person, Hasan is basically that person. So I've had my criticisms of Hasan in the past, mostly having to do with I don't feel like he always does the best job of doing that representation sometimes when it comes to his messaging and some of the things he's said and done. But more recently, hey, Chud Logic, what's up, buddy? Oh, you're going to love this. So more recently, our boy Hasan has been under drama and under fire for the style of reaction content he likes to make. Now, Hasan has a penchant for, in the middle of a reaction, just standing up and walking away. Apparently, sometimes, like, while the video he's reacting to is playing, he'll, like, open it on his phone and listen to it while he's in the other room so he still hears it. But functionally, the stream is still just watching the video with an empty chair in the corner, you know, just watching the original video. There's no reaction happening. Clearly, the intent of that is just to more or less re-upload content at that point is what's happening. And Hasan has, gotten quite a bit of criticism for this. And more recently, he got criticism from a friend of mine who goes by the name of Exci for a reaction to Exci's video that Hasan did, in which Hasan just basically did a Jinx, okay? You guys remember Jinx, the guy the guy who used to make the really, really low effort react content? He'd upload 10 videos a day on YouTube back in 2016. The dude made shit tons of money, and like he'd react to like a 15-minute video and just say, oh wow, like 5 times, and that would be his reaction. And he uploads 10 videos a day, was making crazy amounts of money. Essentially, Hasan is being compared to that guy. And functionally, he's doing something quite similar to that, I would argue. And when it came to Exci's video, Hasan literally, I think, got up mid-video and was just not there for some of it, which really upset Jay. And Jay, requested a conversation with Hasan to talk about it, or at least an apology or something, for just re-streaming Jay's entire video without giving proper credit. And Hasan got a little bit bitter about it. Little bit bitter about it. And didn't really have the type of response you would have liked to see. And then more recently, Exci, a week or two ago, put out a video talking about React content and Twitch broadly, but also talking about Hasan. And a ton of people have gone after Jay for this and attacked Jay. And a ton of people have gone after Hasan and attacked Hasan. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just tell you guys, Hasan is wrong in this drama. He's just dead wrong, okay? Hasan was more or less stealing people's content. At the very least, you could argue stealing Exci's content, in that he really just didn't provide anything to Exci's video. And Exci has every right in the world to be upset about the way that Hasan reacted to their video. So with that said, let's hear what Hasan has to say about Exci criticizing him for stealing their content. Let's see what Hasan's words on this are.
Watch their videos ever again, and I move on. This is what I said 1 fucking year ago.
It wasn't a year ago.
Since then, they made a video. Afterwards, they had like a bunch of fucking Nazis in the kill stream get together and do an 8-hour reaction to my entire stream. I think it was an 8 or 10 hour fucking podcast that they did on that. Okay? And I apologized back then. And they held on to the grudge. And then they made another video now. Another video a year later. Sargon of Akkad joined. Multiple 8-hour streams. If you expect me to think that that person is charitable at this point, I don't know what to tell you. Because it's not. You're a fucking psycho if you think that that is a charitable person. No, that is a deranged person. It's a 5-minute video, which I apologize for. It's incredibly petty. It's incredibly fucking petty.
So what Hasan, just about everything that Hasan just said to the 30,000 people watching his stream in that clip was almost all a fucking lie. Almost all a fucking lie. This was literally Hasan, presumably actively and knowingly lying about Exci to divert criticism. Some of the most valid criticism against Hasan that you can possibly imagine. Because it's not based in politics or opinion, but in simple morality. You shouldn't steal people's content. It's more or less what Hasan did. The creator of the original content was upset about it, made a video talking about the type of React content you do. Now you're bitter, and now you're lying about them. So let's go ahead and go over what in this clip was a lie and why Exci is so upset, and go over a bit of Exci's response.
Watch their videos ever again, and I move on. This is what I said.
So what Hasan was saying right at the beginning there was whenever somebody gets upset at me watching their videos because they don't think I react to it well enough, I stop watching their videos and I move on. Now, this to me comes off as like a very like childish response, right? Like, you ever like when you were a little kid and you'd be doing the dishes or doing a chore, something that you really didn't want to be doing, and you're doing it wrong, and then your parent is like, "Hey, do it correctly," and you're like, "Well, if you're gonna tell me how to do it, I'm not even gonna do the dishes at all," and then you just run away and have a little temper tantrum. Kids do that kind of thing all the time. That's how it comes off to me. It comes off as like Hasan saying, "Oh, well, if you have a problem with me stealing your content and the way I reacted to it, then I just won't react to any of your videos," instead of just apologizing and changing the way I react. Because in reality, what this seems like to me is Hasan not wanting to change the way he does this content. He's fine with continuing to do this very, very lazy, low-effort React content, which is what it is. I watch Hasan's reactions to stuff. It's not exactly the most compelling reaction I've ever seen. If you're looking for somebody who actually has fairly compelling, funny reactions to stuff, Moist Critical, who's on screen right now, and I've been reminded of, I found his reactions to like TV shows and videos and stuff like that to be far more transformative than Hasan's. Because here's the thing. Hasan doesn't have the funniest sense of humor. Like, he's not, like, I've never heard Hasan go on like a really funny, like, bit. Like, I've heard Vosh go on a funny bit, or like I've heard Destiny go on a funny bit, or I've heard Demon Mama go on a funny bit, or I even like to think I've gone on a funny bit. I've never heard Hasan go on one like that. Whenever I hear about Hasan being funny, it's always like people laughing at his audience, laughing at him getting mad, right? Like when Hasan would get angry and start yelling, his audience seems to think that's funny. Like when Hasan doesn't mean to be funny, seems to be when his audience finds him to be the funniest. I've never found Hasan to be the most compelling, funny content creator, and so there's only so much that he can really contribute to someone's hard, created piece of art that they put a lot of work into. But Critical is a hilarious fucking guy, okay? All Hasan can do is more or less act impressed by a video. Critical can actually like bounce jokes off of what he's seeing and like contribute some level of like pretty funny humor to it, right? Like, if there was a video or TV show I've already seen a million times before and I heard Critical did a reaction to it, I would watch Critical's reaction because I'd be positive that Critical would at least be bringing something to the table that would contribute to what I'd already seen before, making it worth watching all over again. I cannot say the same of Hasan. Let's continue.
1 fucking year ago. Since then,
not a year ago.
They made a video. Afterwards, they had like a bunch of fucking Nazis in the kill stream get together and do an 8-hour reaction to my entire stream.
So that's just a bald-faced lie. So the only thing that Jay has made, as far as like video content goes, criticizing Hasan, is the one video. The one video Jay just put out on Hasan's reaction content, which was only half about Hasan. The other half was mostly just about reaction content. Pretty good video, by the way. I recommend it. I liked it a lot. And then what actually happened was Exci is friends with two YouTubers by the names of Mahler and Rags. Now, I have been a fan of Rags. Well, I don't know if I'm presently a fan of Rags necessarily, because his current content isn't really what interests me, but I guess I was a fan of Rags back when he did PC Master Race content for a very long time. And Mahler, I've seen at least a little bit of his content, enough to know that they are not Nazis. Okay? They may have some opinions I disagree with on some things. They are not Nazis. And they are both quite accepting of JXC's gender identity being literally any all pronouns, okay? I'm sorry, but I know that, I have a friend who's trans thing isn't really a good defense against accusations of transphobia, but when you don't really have any pressure to be pro-trans on you and you are voluntarily, without it really being a big deal, friends with somebody whose gender identity is, or whose pronouns are any all, and someone who identifies as like being trans and stuff like that, that suggests to me at the very least that like Mahler and Rags probably aren't a bunch of fucking transphobes, okay? However, they do a podcast together called EFAP. Now, they aren't Nazis. I said they were like anti-SJWs, but even that is a bit of a stretch. Yeah, they're anti-SJWs in the sense that like they think that like some of the newer instances of the media that they like have been bad because of like SJWs fucking it up. Like that's the extent to their anti-SJW-ness, is like they think that like wokeness is sort of causing the writing in certain media to be bad, which is like kind of not a good argument, but like it's not even being right wing, okay? Anyway, Hasan is accusing JXC of going on the Kill Stream, a Nazi podcast, with like Sargon of Akkad and a bunch of other Nazis for 8 hours to go over Hasan's video. What actually happened, Chud Logic, I'm sure you've already covered this, so correct me if I'm wrong because you're a drama boy as well. What actually happened was Mahler and Rags, I think, the EFAP guys covered the stream without JXC present. Am I wrong about that? Like, not only is Hasan calling the EFAP podcast a non-Nazi podcast, The Kill Stream, a Nazi podcast. I'm correct? Good. He is also misattributing JXC's involvement in it in the first place. Like, JXC wasn't even on that episode of EFAP, apparently. Yeah, he wasn't, like, they weren't even involved in that episode of EFAP responding to that stream in the first place. Hey, guys, is it Nazi to have shitty media takes? Yeah, true. Yeah, so just Hasan blatantly lying here. So just a blatant lie? Yes, this is Hasan blatantly lying about JXC here. I really don't like Hasan. I'm sorry, guys. I really don't, and I haven't for a long time. I used to think that he had like this frat boy sort of himbo charm to him, but particularly lately, he's started to just do things that rub me the wrong way, and this is by far the most egregious example of it. This isn't some like philosophical or political disagreement. This is just Hasan being a piece of shit. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no debate to be had. This is Hasan either making a very bad mistake, one that as soon as he has it corrected towards him, he needs to fix immediately and issue a retraction, or he is just being an asshole. And let's be real, if you are the largest, most popular, and wealthy of anything, that being lefty figures in this case, then it probably gets to your head, it probably inflates your ego, and you probably start to become kind of an asshole. And honestly, I think Hasan's ego has probably gotten inflated, and I think he's probably kind of an asshole. I do think it would happen to plenty of other people in his place, but it doesn't mean he's immune to criticism just because I understand where he could be coming from. It really is just inexcusable. Let's hear the rest, and I'll correct whatever other lies he tells.
I think it was an 8 or 10 hour fucking podcast that they did on that. Okay. And I apologized back then. And they held on to the grudge. And then they made
I did a whole video covering this back when it happened, by the way. If you want to get a look at Hasan's non-apology, you can go back and watch my video on it because, let's just say, what Hasan said was more like, Hasan's apology was more like a child having a temper tantrum than like an adult apologizing to another adult for fucking up.
Another video now. Another video a year later. Sargon of Akkad joined. Multiple 8-hour streams.
I don't know what they're referencing, but I don't know what Sargon has to do with this. I don't think Sargon went on EFAP, but lies. JXC didn't go on the Kill Stream or EFAP with Sargon to talk about Hasan. That just didn't happen.
If you expect me to think that person is charitable at this point, I don't know what to tell.
Okay, so basically what's happening is this is Hasan trying to discredit JXE. So Hasan is trying to claim that JXE is in bad faith and is just spiteful by claiming JXE is working with Nazis to get at him, which is just an outright lie. This is Hasan lying about another figure on the internet as a way of discrediting them, so he doesn't even have to engage with their criticism. Hey, you know how I mentioned that I've been seeing like a worrying amount of the left start to become in favor of like demonizing the idea of defending your beliefs? I feel like that this is an example of that. Hasan is so incapable of defending his own actions that he has to lie and discredit a fellow content creator, a fellow left-wing queer content creator, by the way, someone who is LGBT and trans, accusing of being, and left-wing, openly left-wing, accusing of being a Nazi falsely, to disregard the very valid criticism he's received from them for stealing their content. This is absolute scumfuck behavior. I'm so sorry. But like, you guys are gonna have to swallow this pill, but like, Hasan's probably not a good guy. Like, if I'm being completely honest with you guys, Hasan's probably not a good guy. Like, broadly. The drama he's had with his editors, the amount of people he's had falling outs with that are ex-friends and what they've said about him, he's probably not a very good guy. I have a hard time believing you can be as like large and successful as him and be a good guy outside of like your fucking your Keanu Reeveses and whatnots, you know? Like I have no doubt that, as it would with many of us, the fame has probably gone to his head. People aren't really good or bad. I mean, more so in the sense that, like, this Hasan would probably be what you would consider a bad person, as in, like, if you encountered him and had him as someone who was in a relationship in your life, you'd probably think he was kind of an asshole. That's at least the vibe that I've been getting from him, okay? And I like to think, as a content creator myself, and as someone who has had the unfortunate experience of... I've said this many times before. I feel like a lot of my online career here has been like a string of me encountering a well-respected figure that everybody likes, having a negative interaction with them that's indicative of some underlying behaviors or personality flaws this person may have. I then go and reiterate that experience publicly and voice my moral judgment of that person accordingly. Then everyone's like, Zan, you're going too far. Zan, you're being too judgmental. Zan, that's just too much. Zan, you're being too harsh. And then like 4 or 5 months later, they do something objectively horrible publicly that exonerates me, proves me right to a scary degree, and everyone ends up agreeing. I think the best example of this would be Izzy Bear. The degrees to which I predicted how abusive of a piece of shit Izzy Bear was were just downright phenomenal. In my coverage of Izzy Bear, I said, I bet Izzy Bear is an abusive piece of shit in real life who has a bunch of real life people in their real life they're abusing and taking advantage of and using their identity and their being neurodivergent and whatnot as a defense for their abusive behavior towards. And sure enough, I find out she is stealing money from all of her queer, working class, indigenous POC roommates or whatever, and using it to buy cigarettes, hot wings, and ATVs. And in the meantime, whenever she gets any criticism, was using her being neurodivergent and trans as a defense against any criticism for her stealing and abusing from her roommates. I predicted that abusive behavior within a scary margin. And no one believed me. No one agreed with me. Well, some of you agreed with me. Some of you believed me. Until everyone agreed with me and believed me when it came out that she was actually an abusive piece of shit, and a bunch of people came out with big accusations towards her. Now, all I'm saying is, I find that like that happens very often. There's more examples of this where there'll be like a well-respected person who gets into drama with me, people take their side, then it turns out in the long run, oh wait, that person was actually the piece of shit in the long run. And I'm still around, guys. I'm still around, and my reputation is still fairly intact. I haven't done, I would say, Chud Logic, would you agree? Have I done anything that's like that morally bad? Because like, I feel like most of the people I've had run-ins with in the past are in a worse place now than I am. You know, at least in regards to their reputation, because of what ended up coming out about them in the long run. Chud Logic, fucking Guchin, aka Yes, I Feel This Too. Yeah, I've seen that with you, Chud Logic. Chud Logic, you were also the victim of false allegations. Some fucking crazy chicks accused Chud Logic of grooming them. And one of them was 30 years old. So one of them was a 30-year-old woman accusing Chud Logic of grooming them. And the other one lied to Chud Logic about their age. Explicitly lied. So that, like, Chud Logic's been the victim of, like, the false fucking, like, cancellation stuff too in the past. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. Cancel culture can go a little too far sometimes. I think cancel culture in and of itself is a tool, okay? It's a tool like a gun, okay? A gun in and of itself isn't a bad thing or a good thing. It's just a gun, right? But when it's pointed at someone that is innocent and good, then we probably have a problem with it. But when it's being used against someone who deserves it, generally we don't have a problem with it, right? And that's how I like to think of cancel culture. The haters came for me. They have faded away to nothing whilst I have thrived. I felt the same thing too, Chud Logic. My channel like took a massive hit in 2021 when like I got into a bunch of drama with people and stuff like that. And then especially in the last couple months, my channel has just blown back up again, almost to its peak again. So it's been nice standing on the battleground of victory. Nowhere but up from here, chat. Nowhere but up. All right, let's see the rest of this.
Tell you, because it's not. You're a fucking psycho if you think that that is a charitable person. No, that is a deranged person. It's a 5-minute video, which I apologize for. It's incredibly petty. It's incredibly fucking petty.
So, let's see Exci's response. Yep, literally all just overtly false claims that I have to deal with 40,000 people believing about me now because their daddy Hasan said it was true. Thanks, man. I really appreciate how maturely you've handled being called out for not giving credit. I love how he corrects my pronouns from he to they before saying this Nazi shit about me. Does he think I'm a they-them Nazi? Is that genuinely what he believes? If you want to know how the claims are false, here we go. The Nazi kill stream is a panel composed of predominantly libs as far as I'm aware. I did not set up or attend or even attend this stream. I had no involvement in it. It happened completely without my involvement in any way. I have literally never interacted with Sargon of Akkad. Also, his memory doesn't seem to be serving him very well, and coincidentally, everything he's misremembered makes him look better and me look worse. It's been about 5 months, not a year. That is true. It's been literally less than half a year because I remember when I covered this. The delay was this long because I had other videos I wanted to make first. I only made 1 video on him, not 2. The first video was just a stream where we listened to his arguments and responded to them. I always intended to turn the arguments made in that stream into a video. The video of mine he freebooted was 14 minutes, not 5. Ooh. These are all small mistakes, but it's odd how they all seem to favor the narrative he's trying to push forward. Everything else is explained in the video. For example, he keeps saying he apologized. It is true that he apologized for watching my video, but he never actually apologized for any of the things I actually took issue with. Timestamp. Well, I think JXC did a better job than I can of calling out all the lies Hasan told. This is inexcusable. And I want to tell you this right now. The people who allow Hasan to get away with things like this are the ones who enable Hasan to become what is essentially an untouchable figure. Do you think that like the vast majority of lefty figures in the space could ever like get a hold of Hasan if they took issue with a thing that he did? No, he is literally like compared to like, think of it as like I'm like a really D-list actor, like a D-list actor, and I wanted to get a hold of Leonardo DiCaprio. That is the level of difference between Hasan and I in terms of our lifestyles and our ways of making content and our size and influence on the internet. We exist in completely different worlds. JXC and Hasan exist in completely different worlds. And Hasan basically has such a massive audience and such a sycophantic fan base, little bit, redundant there with the wording, but such a sycophantic fan base that you can't criticize Hasan and have any of those criticisms go through and actually get anywhere. He's too big for them to actually go anywhere. His audience is dumb enough that they'll just like omega lol off any criticisms at this point. Do you think the vast majority of Hasan's audience could be swayed away from his opinion on this by any arguments? No. They just omega lol or put in their favorite emote and just meme around in the chat and say, haha, this person doesn't like Hasan, they must be wrong, because Hasan's become sort of his own like force of nature online. He is like the lefty Twitch guy, right? You can't really undo that. It's like trying to criticize PewDiePie. Trying to criticize Hasan is just about as like doable as criticizing PewDiePie. Yeah, I have just about as much likelihood of reaching Hasan with my criticisms as I would PewDiePie. Frankly, I think PewDiePie might be a little bit more receptive to my criticisms. Frankly, at least PewDiePie and I like Minecraft. You know, Hasan doesn't even like Minecraft. We don't even have that to bond over. You know. Anyway, point being made is that Hasan's in the wrong and JXC is 100% in the right in this. And if you disagree with me, then you are going to be proven extraordinarily wrong sometime soon when Hasan continues to engage in behavior like this, because he's allowed to get away with it now. And I'm just going to be proven right. It's as simple as that. All I have to do is wait, and I'll be proven right. So you know, stick around and look. Stick around and look. It's happened before. It'll happen again. What can I say? Anyway. With all that said, thank you so much for watching. And you know what? Go subscribe to JXC. You know? Here. How about this? Go subscribe. Okay? Go subscribe to JXC. All right? All right, everybody. I love you all so much. I'll see you all in the next video. Subscribe down below if you want to see more from me. Follow my social media. You can donate, subscribe, or gift a sub over my website to support me financially, as well as super chatting, super stickering, or even becoming a channel member over on YouTube. And you can also donate to me through Streamlabs in the form of a super chat, a TTS donation, or you can buy my merch. No matter how you support me, I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching.